morning show. Of course, we're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Try and keep this show at about 9 to 10, between 9 and 11. I don't know. It's just I have a crazy schedule these days. And instead of not doing a show at all, we just kind of just do it as we can do it. Try and keep it in the morning. That's why we call it the morning show. But got NBA Finals, Game 3 tonight, as well as a full card of Major League Baseball. We have a little bit of daytime action with some evening action mixed in. So kind of a smorgasbord, if you will, of sports to go on. Of course, Tampa Bay Lightning, even the series, now have a best-of-3 series in the NHL. Chris, anything surprised you about the Lightning last night?
I think I was more surprised about how the Rangers just didn't really get off the ground in that game. But, the way that we've talked about it with the Rangers having, home ice dominate their postseason so far, it's not that much of a surprise to see the Tampa Bay Lightning rally, especially with the veteran presence in that team. But, and like you said, now it's a best of 3, and now we go back to MSG. We'll have to see if the Rangers can hold serve.
Brian, the Los Angeles Angels, the losing just continues. You got a Hall of Fame manager, more than likely, here that has been fired, in Los Angeles. I'm sure they're on the hook for a tremendous amount of money to get this guy. He basically quit the Cubs job to take this job in Los Angeles. It didn't really go down like that exactly, but pretty much is what happened. And he got a tremendous amount of money to go there. And 2 weeks ago, it looked like they were going to run away with the American League West. 2 weeks later, he is out of a job. What becomes of the Angels? What becomes of Joe Madden? Does he start a podcast on Twitter and start getting a bunch of Angel retreads to go on there? Is that how this generally works?
Well, if as a Phillies fan, I was tempted when I saw Madden release, but I think what the Phillies need is a young manager. But I don't think they need Joe Madden. But who knows what he's going to do? I'm sure he'll find a job elsewhere. But I guess for a while he could sit on all that money he made from the Angels, or he's going to make, or is still owed. So I'm sure he's not in a bad spot.
I think he was in the final year of that deal.
Was he?
It was 3 years. Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was 3 years. I think I want to say I saw $51 million.
Yikes!
I think that's what I saw. I could be wrong. Let me look. I know he was in the final year of the deal, though.
Man, sounds like college football coaches the way they ate the contracts this year for the big money. But I'm sure somebody will give him a shot.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. No, it wasn't 51. Hold on. I'll look up the number.
If not, I'm sure I know some people that are available for the podcast. Send them a list, actually, to ask.
Maybe he'll be better on a team without any expectations, like the Kansas City Royals or.
Right, he did it on a team with tons of expectations in Chicago with the Cubs. He did it with the Rays.
No, that's true. The Rays didn't have a ton of expectations.
The thing is, it's like, this is not a guy that hasn't done it before. This is a Hall of Fame manager. This guy won with the Chicago Cubs. I don't know, man. It is.
I would have let him finish out the season. They're paying him that much money, and the Angels, everybody goes through losing streaks, but who knows what was going on internally.
Yeah, it was 4 years, 12. I 51 I saw was a number in that article that was next to it, but it was 4 years, 12 million. But still. Or sorry, 3 years, 12 million.
So he is basically not performing up to the contract. That's basically what happened there. Yeah. Anyways, we move on. Got Major League Baseball today. Got daytime action, and got the Pirates taking on the Tigers. We got the Royals taking on the Blue Jays, and the Astros up against the Mariners. Chris, what do you think?
I'm leaning towards the Pittsburgh Pirates. I haven't been a Mitch Keller fan, but I think the Tigers had sort of a one-off with that with that offensive performance yesterday. I like Alex Fado, but I don't know, just something about this line kind of makes me lean towards the Pirates. And I'm going to go with the Toronto Blue Jays. I may even take Kikuchi to have a solid day, or maybe throw a shutout, maybe look at the Kansas City team total under. Because, like I said, the Royals just have not been able to get off the ground in this series, and I think Toronto goes for the sweep here. So I may even take Toronto on the run line here, even with Kikuchi on the mound. He's been pitching pretty well as of late. So give me Toronto there, and I lean towards Seattle with Logan Gilbert on the mound. Hasn't been all roses for the Mariners lately, but Logan Gilbert, usually one of their best shots to get a win here, and Jose Urquidy has been hittable as of late. So give me the Mariners there.
Brian?
Yeah, I like this time slot here. I agree with Ruffalo here with the Tigers and Pirates. This line looks a little bit odd to me. I think this is the game that's won by the Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen. You know, Mitch Keller will probably go 5 innings, give up 2, 3, maybe 4 runs. But I think the Pirates can bounce back from yesterday. They hurt me, lost with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then I'll take the Kansas City Royals with Singer on the mound. He had a bad start last time. I think he gave up 7 runs. But he has a nice strikeout to walk, and if the Royals are going to win a game at home against the Jays, I think it'll be today. And the Seattle Mariners, I'll take them on the money line with Gilbert on the mound. He's pretty much a solid 6-7 inning starter, 2.22 ERA, and a nice whip of close to 1. So I'll take Seattle to knock off Urquidy and the Astros.
I like the Tigers. Lay 2.5, 3.5 in this one. No reason to look too deep into this thing. Mitch Keller's hideous. Fado is really an emerging star. I think this is just a whitewash. No reason to look deeper than exactly what is there on the paper. Getting the Tigers is an absolute gift. Reverse run line this thing all day long. Twice on Wednesdays. There's nothing there that shows the Pirates have any kind of hope here. I like the Yurfie. I like the Tigers' first 5. I like many home run props here off of Keller as well. Pretty much Candelario, I think we could pretty much go for one. Maybe Grossman. Go through it. I mean, I don't see anything inspiring about the 5.77 ERA of Keller. I'm sorry.
But Mitch Keller hasn't given up more than 1 run in the start since about May 17th or so. I don't know, it was the 15th or 17th. He doesn't go deep, of course, but it's hard to polish a crappy number like 5.77.
I understand that, but it's not just really about, it's not just about this year.
Just starting pitcher.
It's about the body of work, Brian. It's about the 7.13 ERA in 2019, the 6.17 ERA last season in 23 starts. This guy is not just, a here and there thing. He's basically a career loser. I don't know. I don't see it. I know Mitch Keller. I bet against Mitch Keller. I've done very well betting against Mitch Keller. If I happen to get burned here, so be it. I'm playing with house money on that one. I'm playing with house money. But anyways, speaking of house money, Brian, what are you selling today?
Well, off a winning day yesterday, 2-1. We're going to try to keep it rolling forward. I got my Pure Profit 3-pack. It includes my best bet in the NBA and 2 Major League Baseball best bets. If you just want my best bet, I got my NBA Titanium selection on sale for $15 at pickdogs.com. Premium picks.
Chris Ruffalo.
Yes, sir. I got my my MLB pickoff play. Yesterday we got stung by the Giants, but today we bounced back with the with my play today. As well as that's part of my MLB triple play as well. You can get my pickoff play and 2 additional MLB. Or I got my best bet from the NBA on sale as well today for $29.95.
I got my $15 big play today. I would say of the last 6 losses that I've had in my big play, and that's over like 3 weeks, I would say of those 6 losses, 4 of them have come in the 9th inning, where I've had the lead in the 9th inning, and yesterday no exception. It's just, there's nothing you can do. It's like you have a 2-1 lead. You have a guy with a record scoreless streak going on the mound, and he gets hit for 2 home runs. It's like,
how dramatic was that? The guy, the Fearling hit that home run. He's absolutely horrible.
Oh, I know.
I know. Bad.
I know.
But I actually turned that game on. I was like, let's see if they can actually come back in the 9th. I was shocked.
Oh, it's unbelievable. that's why they play the game all the way to the end. And, that is why, sports betting is difficult. That's, it's all part of it. I mean, you see people that comment on Romanelli's videos that act like the Dodgers win every single game when we know, they lose 60 plus times a year. It's like they act on there like, oh my God, the Dodgers lost. It's like they lose all the time. They lose, they lose 30%, 30 to 40% of the time that they play. It's not like they win all the time. They don't win remotely close all the time. They win 2 out of 3. Anyways.
Yeah, if you bet the Dodgers every day, you're lucky if you produce a profit.
Gotten crushed. You've gotten just crushed. You've been crushed. You've been destroyed. Speaking of that, Ruffalo, what's your favorite hoagie?
Oh God, don't pressure me. Meatball sub.
Meatball sub. How are you, Brian?
Like a ham and cheese hoagie with provolone, a little bit of oil, mayo. Yeah, light on the onions.
Nice. Chicken parm for me.
In case Brian's got to kiss anybody later.
Chicken parm.
No, they upset my stomach. So.
Yeah.
Chicken parm. Anyways, got Reds and the D-backs. Got the Marlins and the Nationals and the Orioles and the Cubs. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 teams here that have 0 chance of going to the postseason this year. This is. I mean, I don't think we've ever had a segment with this many teams that are just done already in June.
Marlins aren't done, though. Right?
They're done.
No, they're not. They have wait till Sixto Sanchez comes up for the Marlins, and then they have 4 strong starting pitchers, plus that guy that pitched last night, Edward Cabrera. He's a stud. I think the Marlins have a real chance. They could even. I know it's crazy to knock off the Mets, but
the Braves. It's the Braves. It's not the Mets. It's the Braves.
Wild card chance. They could get in the wild card. You gotta like the Marlins.
But they're 7 games under. I love the Marlins pitchers. I love all that stuff. But you're 7 games under 500. And it's like, yeah, there's 3 wild card teams, but you got the Padres, the Giants are over 500. The Cardinals and the Brewers both ahead of them, and the Braves and the Mets. It's like you have good teams ahead of you. You have good pitchers. And it's like eventually you have to decide what you're going to do with that 12 deep starting rotation. Do you start trading some of these guys off to get some bats, which is what you really need at this point? Or do you just continue to sit there and hold everybody hostage as long as you possibly can? Because the longer you sit there and wait, well, the more that 7 games under 500, 13 and 14 at home, well, it starts to bite you in the ass a little bit. It's like, I understand pitching wins. I love all that stuff too. I agree with all of those things. I think the Marlins have a problem at the plate. I think you have Alcantara. You've got
maybe you could trade Alcantara and get a
no. He's the guy you keep.
No.
Well,
no.
He probably has the most value to trade.
Yeah, but what if you can get? What about at the trade deadline? If you could deal or close to the trade deadline, if you could deal Trevor Rogers and get something viable.
Oh, nobody's giving you anything for him.
You never know.
Anyway, I like them. I think the Marlins have it.
What if you trade Sixto Sanchez to the White Sox?
Oh, yeah, I like that. I'm a Sixto guy. I think the Marlins have 6 guys that they really are studs at pitching.
More than 6. They have more than 6. They traded away because they traded away Marte last year, and they got the guy from the A's who's actually turned out to be.
We haven't even seen Luzardo.
Yeah, Luzardo. Yeah, we haven't even seen him recently. They're stacked of stacked. They're way stacked. I mean, they're 12 deep.
Anyway, when you said that, I was like, well, the Marlins aren't that bad.
Yeah, but the problem is that they're 7 under 500, and you got a lot of wood to chop ahead of you. That's the issue that they have.
Yeah. The problem is they're not that bad, and everyone else around them is pretty good.
If they played in the White Sox division, they would have a real chance to win.
But they don't. Anyways, Brian, who do you like in this set of games?
Boy, now I got thrown off my game. I think I'm going to take the Miami Marlins here, lay at 2.5. I've been getting lucky with -2.5. So I just think Alcantara's going to shut down the Nationals. They're close to it. And Josiah Gray, since it's not daytime, I think the Marlins can get to him for a few runs. So I'll lay the 2.5 with the Marlins. And the Chicago Cubs and Baltimore Orioles, I think it goes over the 9 runs. I think Stroman's good to give up 5-6 runs, add in the bullpen. Jordan Lyles isn't opposed to giving up a few dingers. So I'll take the over 9.
I would take 30 million for Bittler. I would trade it for sure. And the player to be named later, I would throw in. And yeah.
I would take 30 million too if somebody offers.
He's been traded to Mitch Memo.
It better not be stock options. It better be actual money.
No, it's Mitch Memo. It's Mitch
Maybe
Bucks.
30 million of a stock that's worth nothing.
It'd actually be Mitch Bucks. It'd be Mitch Bucks.
You know what it is? It's do you remember that episode of The Simpsons where Homer buys like $1,000 of itchy and scratchy money, walks in the park, and everybody says they don't accept it.
Chris, what do you think of this slot?
I'll bet on these games with my itchy and scratchy bucks. I'm going to take the over 9.5 in that Reds Diamondbacks matchup. We flew over the total yesterday, and I was with a far better pitching matchup, I think, than what we have here. You've got Mike Minor, who was absolutely shelled in his first start, and that was at Great American Ballpark. And Merrill Kelly's allowed at least 3 runs in each of his last 5 starts. I think this is a game that's just setting up to finish around 10, 11, maybe even 12 runs at the very least. So give me the over 9.5 there.
I think you can go higher. I think you go higher than 9. I think you can go 11.
Yeah,
I think the Reds. I think Minor's fully capable of giving up 8 or 9 if they leave him in there long enough. He's the worst.
Yeah, that could happen over 4, 5 innings. So maybe I'll look into an extended total for that. But speaking of extending, I'm going to go with the Marlins minus 2.5. I know Josiah Gray has been Washington's one of their better chances at getting a win as of late, but doesn't change the fact that Sandy Alcantara's a stud, a 2-0 record with a 1.29 ERA against the Nationals this season. And he's coming off of another strong shutout performance, struck out 22 batters in his last 2 starts. I think there's going to be a lot of missed bats for the Nationals tonight.
I might have to send you an email later.
So Mike Minor hasn't had an ERA below 5 in 4 years. Merrill Kelly still is in the mid 3s, even despite pitching poorly in his last few outings. I think Alcantara is the leader of that Marlins pitching staff. He's their number 1. He's not the guy that's going to get traded. I think if you have him as a 1 and a guy like a Cabrera as a 2, Sixto in at 3, now you're talking about a real pitching staff.
Get traded Pablo
Lopez is a great 4.
He's sturdy.
You got him. Imagine him as a 4.
And they've got Max Meyer as their next guy coming up from the minors.
Oh, I didn't realize you were part of this discussion. Anyways,
that's it. My new favorite team is the Marlins. I'm officially jumping ship.
So yesterday when the guy left the comment about my comments towards Brian, and I asked Brian if I was like being that way to him, and he said, "Not today." Someone quoted it and put it in the comments. It was the best. It was like, Brian, did I verbally abuse you? You said not today. Someone put it in the comments. It was great. Oh man, that was so funny.
No, that was my honest opinion at the time.
It's all right. It's all right. I believe me, I have things I can say about everybody just as easily. We've got the Guardians up against the Rangers. We've got the Rays up against the Cardinals. And we've got the Braves up against the A's. Jared Koenig on the mound for the A's. Ruflo.
So I'm gonna go with the under 7.5 in that Tampa Bay and St. Louis matchup. I'm trying to verify the starter for St. Louis. I haven't seen anything yet, but I still think Kluber can deal a capable outing. I see this as maybe a 4-3 game, the absolute worst. So if you can get it at 7.5, I'd hop on it. But I still like the under in that one. And I'm gonna go with the Nerfy in that Rangers Guardians matchup. I just think Dane Dunning a lot better than his 1-3 record and 4.11 ERA would indicate. And Shane Bieber still pitching well himself. I think we can get through the first inning with no runs in that one. And I think if there's going to be any scoring, it's going to come in the middle inning. So give me the Nerfy in that one.
Brian?
Yeah, I agree with Chris. I think Dane Dunning is better than his numbers indicate. I'll take a chance with the Rangers today on the money line, just a small play. And I like the Tampa Bay Rays a lot more, even though the juice is high. I trust Corey Kluber. I think he's had 3 solid starts in a row. I think bullpen game for the Cardinals. I think the Rays roll at home. They got a late, it was a walk-off winner in extras yesterday. Oakland A's plus 1.5 against the Braves. I think it's a 1-run game. I just think Oakland has a good shot at knocking off the Braves today, but I'll play it safe like I normally do. Take the 1.5.
Okay. Jared Koenig, 61 strikeouts in 53 innings, 39 hits, 14 runs allowed, 4 dingers, 15 walks. Up against Ian Anderson. I don't know. Seems almost too obvious. 2.21 ERA. Anyways. Maybe I'm missing something.
Is that his career minor league numbers, 2.12, or this season, 2.12?
This season, his career, he's 2.9.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds solid to me.
And Ruffalo likes him.
Ruffalo likes Pocky Naughton. He's a
Put words in my mouth.
Packy Naughton?
Packy Naughton. His former Angel.
Packy Naughton.
He's packing nothing.
All right. I like the under in that Guardians Rangers game. We go to the Twinkies taking on the Yankees. Got the Brewers taking on the Phillies. That was a heartbreaker for me last night, and I was crushed. And first ballot Hall of Famer Johnny Cueto on the mound here for the White Sox up against the Dodgers. Chris?
I can practically hear the sigh from Brian at the first ballot Hall of Famer remark, but I'm gonna go with the Yankees in the first 5. I think Nestor Cortez Jr. legit, and Chris Archer, not a fan, even though he has been pitching half decent in his last few starts. I may even try to push that to a -0.5 a run, try to get the price down, because right now I'm seeing it around -170 just on the first 5 money line. So maybe New York Yankees -0.5 a run there in the first 5. And I'm going to go with the under 8.5 Dodgers, White Sox. Tony Gonsolin's been pitching very well. I know his record isn't sustainable, and maybe the run isn't sustainable. But I think he could hold down a White Sox line that hasn't been hitting all that great as of late. But on the flip side, Johnny Cueto's a veteran. He knows this Dodgers lineup from his time with the San Francisco Giants. And I think he could have a solid outing here. I could see this game getting to seven runs at most. So give me the under in that one.
All right, that was a lot of information. Brian?
I like lots of information from Ruffalo. I think I'm going to go. This is my super square play of the day. I think I'll take the Yankees on the run line with Nestor Cortez. He's just been phenomenal almost every single start. And Chris Archer, I think the Twins will be lucky to get 4 or 5 innings out of him. And then I think the Yankees can tack on some runs late. So I'd lay the run line there. The Phillies and Milwaukee Brewers, I think the Phillies have the momentum. It was 5 straight wins. Aaron Nola, you never know what you're going to get with him. Sometimes it's a shaky outing or he blows up in the 5th inning. But Adrian Hauser has been starting to be shaky out there. I think the Phillies get it done again today. I think this line tells you everything. They're almost giving you plus money to take the Brewers at home. I'll take the Phillies, lay the juice.
I like the Yankees here on the run line against the Twins. Nestor Cortez Jr., Ruffalo's second favorite junior behind Desi Arnaz Jr. up here for the Yankees. And, the Twins, I like the way they're playing. They fought the Yankees pretty hard last night. I like what they're doing this season. They're playing the way that, American League Central teams have to do to really stay competitive and compete. And that's all you really have to do in that division, compete. That division's always won in September, not in May or June, but you just need to hang around, and that's what the Twins are kind of doing. Even when they're not playing well, they're hanging around. And I don't know. It's like we all know Chris Archer is not good enough, but at the same time, it's like, oh man, it's like baseball's a funny game. Anyways, I like the Brewers here to come back on the Phillies. That was so brutal last night with Hader losing that. That was my big play of the day. So it sucks when you lose a game that you feel like you've done everything right. The bottom line in that game is the Phillies had 1,000,000 chances and converted on 0 of them. And then, of all people, to hit the home runs, the bottom of the order and beyond the bottom of the order, to hit the 2 home runs off a Hader. I think he got a little too cocky there is what happened. And, of course, in Chicago, first ballot Hall of Famer Johnny Cueto on the mound for the White Sox, just showing once again why he is large and in charge and really one of the most dominating pitchers to ever take the mound in the majors, up against the Dodgers team that, well, I mean, they are what they are, They are
it's fun. Not much confidence in the White Sox here at home. I would think that after knocking off the Dodgers, there'd be more people liking Chicago today. But
no, because the Dodgers backers, I have to have a pitcher to hump up on. And, now that most of their pitchers are injured or gone, like May and, Kershaw and all these guys that are all injured, and you can't back Urias as the only guy that they know, right? You're going to back Mitch White. It's like you can't. They have nowhere to go. So it's Walker Buehler, and then they have to have the other guy to hump up on, and it's him. Gonzalez is basically where it is. So now he's the most overbet pitcher, overrated, because he's way outworked here. I mean, the White Sox clearly have the pitching matchup edge in this game. Yet, all we hear, and all you have to do is look at the YouTube comments. Dodgers, Dodgers, Dodgers. Kind of like Marsha.
I like Marsha Brady.
Marsha your favorite Brady, or are you the...
Oh, back when I was young, I liked Marsha. Yeah.
I thought Mike Brady was more your type. But anyways, we go to the Angels against the Red Sox. Of course, Joe Madden was fired. Got the Padres against the Mets and the Giants against the Rockies. Ruffalo, the post-Joe Madden era, and what do you think?
Yeah, I think this could be a spot where the Angels rise up and get themselves a win. We saw it with the Phillies. They fired their tenured manager, and they stepped up, and the bats started clicking, and the win started coming. I think it could be the same thing for the Angels.
But the Angels still have a better record than the Phillies. You understand that? They still have a better record than them.
True. But I'm still just not trying to lay minus 165 with Nady Eovaldi on the road. I think this is a spot where the Angels could rise up and get a win. And I like the Mets with Chris Bassett on the mound against the Padres. The Padres been rock solid, but the Mets, one of the best road teams in the majors this year, and I've made a lot of money fading Sean Manaea. So give me the Mets there, and I like the over 9 in the Rockies and San Francisco Giants game. I think that game finishes closer to 10 or 11 runs. I think the runs come a lot more often than they did on Tuesday. So give me the over there.
This is the retread game of A's pitchers. That's what that one is. Manaea, Bassett. Yeah. Brian, speaking of retreads.
I think the Phillies and Angels basically have identical records. I think the Angels have one more win, but they have one more loss as well. So they're basically tied.
They're basically tied, except the Angels have a better record.
They don't have a better record. They're 27-30, and the Phillies are 26-29.
So basically, they've won less games.
I think they'd be tied in the standings. That's not how it works. You're getting me all confused. 26-29 against 27-30.
Sounds like more wins. Tied. Sounds like more wins.
All right.
27 just sounds like more wins than 26. I'm just throwing it out there.
By the end of it doesn't. These two. Yeah. Anyway,
Brian's verbally abusing you.
I'm all messed
Chris,
up.
Stop
in this
him.
grouping of games here, I'm going to take all 3 dogs. I'm going to take the Angels or Reed Detmers, who has been unimpressive, but the Angels are probably just they're super desperate. You're getting plus money at home. I'll take the New York.
Can you smell the desperation?
The desperation, yeah, to end that losing streak. Chris Bassett, I think, is the better pitching option, and the Mets. They got beat pretty soundly last night. I think they bounced back and get a W. And then the Rockies and Giants. I'm not going to take the Rockies like Mitch did yesterday and cash big, but I'll take the Rockies plus 1.5 here. I think it's a one-run game with the Giants. Giants at minus 225 isn't a price with Alex with it I'd want to be on.
AT&T Park, San Francisco, whatever they call it now, generally not a home run hitter's park, but I think today it could be with these two guys. I think if you're going to the game in San Francisco, definitely bring a glove and be prepared to be there for a while. Unless you like to beat the crowd, leave at the end of the 7th inning. That's all fine. I think same thing in San Diego. Petco, not necessarily a home run hitter's park. I expect to see a lot of runs in that one. And you can't say home run this season without Nathan Eovaldi. He is the guy that gave up 5 home runs in 1 inning this year up against the Angels. Angels don't win. If they don't win tomorrow with Ohtani on the mound, they might just pack it in for the whole season. You might see a fire sale, of big name players. That's what you might see there. But anyways, I like the over, and the Angels. Anyways, we go to the NBA. It is Game 3 in TD North Garden. Used to be called Boston Garden, which, I don't know, sounded better. But Celtics this season, the playoffs, about 500 at home this year. Up against the Warriors, who, same thing. I mean, they've been really good on the road. So that makes for a very, very, very good game. Chris, what are you thinking about tonight's game at TD North Garden?
This is going to be a lot more physical than a lot of people would expect. I'm looking at the under 212.5 here. I think this is just going to be two teams that obviously want to take the series advantage. Boston try to steal home court, and the Warriors to try to hold serve going back home. And I think this is going to be the first to 100 wins. Don't expect there to be a bunch of offensive fireworks like we've seen earlier in the series. I think it's just going to be tough sledding for both these teams. And the under 212.5, I could see this finishing around 205.
Do you think chowder makes like a pretty tough stadium food? Like as far as like watching the basketball game with a bowl of chowder. Like how about one of those bread bowls? With chowder.
You literally took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say only if it's a bread bowl, I think it'll work. But yeah, that chowder's not a basketball seat food.
Well, what would be the Boston basketball?
You spill it all over yourself as you're eating it.
What would be the
shirt.
Lobster roll?
Or, yeah, I could go for a lobster roll.
Me too. Brian, what do you like in this one?
You don't want you.
I would like a lobster roll. I just hate when you go in those places and there's flies everywhere.
Oh man, in Boston, there's a place called the Salty Girl. They have the best lobster roll I've ever had. It is phenomenal. I was there just a couple of years ago. I went to college in Boston, but I was in Boston a few years ago, and went to Salty Girl. Best lobster roll I ever had in my whole life. It was phenomenal. I like the way they do the lobster roll. They put the butter on the outside of the bun and they grill it like that. I just love that. It's a nice touch. All buns should be buttered and grilled. It should be law.
See, the place I go, they put it on like a piece of Texas toast. They put the lobster. No, wait, no, it's not.
No, it's like a hot dog roll, but it's got no.
It is a hot dog.
It's kind of like not really. It's almost like a bread, but like it's a roll, and then they grill the roll. Like with butter, and they put the lobster in. At the Salty Girl, they put the lobster in. Then they like pour more butter over the top. They just hammer it.
It's like a hot dog bun sized loaf of bread, and they cut it through the top
with a lot of butter.
With a lot of butter.
Yeah, that's the key piece.
Butter makes it better.
Anyway, on this NBA game, I think Chris hit it on the head. I think it's going to be a very physical game. Kind of reminds you of an old style Eastern Conference game. And for me, as far as free picks go, I think the Celtics to win the first quarter. As far as the game goes, I would like to have points in my pocket probably in this one. I'd probably take Golden State plus the points. I think whoever's holding the ball last at the end, I could see winning this game. So if I can take the points, I would. But first quarter, I think the Celtics jump out fast.
Brian's got points in his pocket. Are those points in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me? It's not the old...
Yeah, points in my pocket.
All right. Just checking. Just checking. Anyways, I like the under in this game. I think it's going to be a real physical battle underneath. I think we're going to start to see this game get a little chippy as these teams get to know each other and get sick of each other just a little bit more. We've seen some games like this in Boston Garden historically, and I think we see one of those games tonight. So I like the under all the way in this thing. I think I like the first half under as well. and the first quarter under, and most of the player props under. All right, parlay time. Brian.
For my parlay today, my parlay today is going to be I can't even say it. The Phillies money line, the Mariners money line, Orioles money line combined together, and I like the Phillies the best out of those three.
Chris.
You would. I'm going to take the under in the Warriors-Celtics game, over 9.5 in the Diamondbacks and Reds, and the Miami Marlins -2.5.
I like the Tigers -16.5 runs, parlayed up with the over in the Orioles-Cubs game and the over in the Padres-Mets game. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. It was a fun show. Quick, to the point, a lot of picks. Brian verbally abused me. No one came to my rescue, but that's okay. We love you anyway. Make it a winning day.